definitely have a slew of survivors, beginning with myself, the creator of the brand, the creative producer and host here of the podcast, and the executive curator behind all of From the Heart. So shout out to that, guys. Shout out to that. All right. So as you know, we are in the building today. We are going to shed light on a few things. I walk in here and I am over here sweating. So for those of you who are watching on these lives already, please excuse my sweat. I'll cool down in a minute. That's just a lot of joy and excitement. I am grateful to have made it here this morning. We apologize for our lateness, as we always do. Apologize when we come late or end up airing late. But shout out to all of you guys who have been supporting us since day uno. You hear me? Listen, we are definitely going somewhere, and we definitely plan to take some of you with us. So shout out to big things, Aguan, and out of here. You hear me? So we are going to start this morning off. As you know, today's Tuesday morning hot topic is domestic violence awareness and prevention, guys. A lot of times we focus on the awareness of it, but how many times have we really thought about ways to prevent it? And it begins and ends with us. All right? So give it up for Empress Adama. Empress Adama in this song, Woman a Warrior. We are on a mission. Know your purpose, keep your focus, actualize your vision. Do the good that you can do, like what we follow you. This world a better way, rely on you. Woman, I want you to sing a vision. Woman, singing about woman, I was got to Say, woman, a warrior. Woman, a warrior too. Say, woman, a preacher. Woman, a preacher too. Say, woman, a bus gun. Woman, a bus gun too. Say, woman, a literally. Woman, a literally too. I don't know about y'all, but I am feeling, listen, I am so feeling that song. That song reminds me of the movie that just came out, The Woman King. The Woman King. The Woman King. That song really gives me the Woman King type of energy. It really does. That song definitely gives me the Woman King vibe. So again, we're gonna give it up for Empress Idama and her song, Woman, a Warrior. You know what I'm talking about? I wonder what it is you guys think when you hear that song. When we play that song, say, woman, a warrior. Woman, a warrior too. Say, woman, a praise Jah. Woman, I praise Jah too. Say, woman, a bus gun. Woman, a bus gun too. Say, woman, a link challenge. Woman, a link challenge too. I always have a little bit of trouble with the L word, but I think I got it right. So shout out to Empress Adama. You can go follow that amazing, powerful, dope. Very dope. Her voice, guys. Oh my God. Her voice on the song is amazing, right? Just imagine hearing that voice live times what you hear on the record. Amazing, powerful, strong voice. She said it. Say, woman, a warrior. So listen, that song really put me in a space. It definitely did. Hearing that song just now put me in a space to bring to you a piece of my heart. This piece some of you heard, this piece some of you didn't, but when you hear something like, say, woman, a warrior, woman, a warrior too, say, woman, a praise Jah, woman, a praise Jah too, it makes you want to look, say, woman, a bus gun, woman, it makes you want to go, the culture of a woman is her inner beauty. Like the innocence of a child, her beauty never fades. Her glow gets richer and richer day by day. Her beauty is like a light that'll guide your way. Her name is woman. Come on. She is the queen of beauty. Her light will shine so bright that it'll spark the right nerve and cause you to forget all about her innocent face and those voluptuous curves. Just remember these words when you think of her. Beauty from within. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. So again, shout out to Empress Adama and the influence of her song. We are going to play first a couple of female independent artists, all right? And then we're going to shoot to the men. A lot of times, most of the times when we acknowledge domestic violence and its awareness and preventative, actions, we normally focus only on women, but we're not going to only focus on women throughout this segment, this October here. You know, guys, it's like really a waste of time for me to try to lay my edges down. You know, for those of you who are going to see this, it's just great. But anyway, we definitely always, most of the time, focus on the women. But here at From the Heart of a Poet podcast and radio talk show, Tuesday morning hot topics, we are going to focus on, this is all unisex for us. Because yes, I know some men who have been through domestic violence and overcame it and have amazing, powerful stories. So if you don't hear them or see them here in this segment for this year's October, we'll be hoping for later, because not everyone is ready to share their story, on this type of platform. Some people are going to write about it. Some of us, we're going to write about it, do poetry about it, make music about it, write plays, and look, act about it in a play or a movie. You know what I mean? So, or we're going to speak about it. So I am definitely here this morning to go a bit in depth about my story. I have shared bits and pieces over the past 2 years as the creator, producer, and host of From the Heart of a Poet podcast, coming from DTF radio station right here at Newtown. I have been sharing my story, bits and pieces, but I'm going to go in depth with you guys today because you guys are very important to me. And I personally really, really appreciate every single viewer, even if you only view once. I appreciate every single like, even if you only liked it once. I appreciate every single comment, even if you only commented without words and did an emoji. I'm not here for algorithms, however you say that word. I could listen, okay? My tongue get a little twisted when I try to say that, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not here for that. I always say I get paid to be me. It is truly a blessing to get paid to be yourself. In other words, when all the work that you do is not just work, when all the work that you do suits your personality, and I'm sure a lot of you entrepreneurs like myself can relate to that. So shout out to the owner of Newtown Radio Station. Shout out to the people like myself, making sure the technology is dope, making sure that we have microphones that work, making sure all of us, when we come to do our shows, I myself definitely appreciate it. So shout out to that. Say woman a warrior. You hear me? Woman a warrior too. Shout out to Johnny Fastlane. Shout out to him in his absence this morning. Give it up for his show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Check my boy out. Go follow him at Johnny Fastlane. We're going to get to this music, and we are going to play Potential by B.E. Lees. Give it up for Potential, y'all. It's so potential. In and out of town, I keep it pushing. Ride around the city, started in the winter. Talking about that money, always sentimental. Always on the go to work out my potential. Live until the part I know that I was missing. Bitches so potential. In and out of town, I keep potential. Bitches so potential. How the hell am I go out this far? Turn my back to people. Never thought that I'd be a star. Yeah, my diamonds people greater than me. People bitches dancing to my people. Got a bitch, me got a bitch. With a pad, I used to make the money, making shit so rich and please. Keep it disciplined. I be on my shit. When niggas I know it's popular. Focus on this shit. They been too quiet. My drama is mental. Thoughts are telling them my tip. I can't just demons. Told me, girl, you better wherever they send you. Inspiration, I'm removing it. Listen like I'm moving it. Came from all the boys. Been hit licks like I'm screwing it. Bitches off potential. In and out of town, I keep it fishing. Ride around the city, started in the winter. Talking about that money, always sentimental. Always on the go to work out my potential. Live until the part I know that I was missing. Bitches off potential. In and out of town, I keep potential. My disposition, fuck it, I don't feel shit. Niggas always thugging up a kill quick. Tell them real when they talk potential, walk a real bitch. I don't wait to stop, don't trust, I'm real stiff. Oh cheese, gonna make it deep. I play the game, even though it's sweet. I roll the dice after I roll my sleeve. I know the means, I ain't doing shit for free. You know the speed, that is all I need. Peaches and cream, what's her back to steam? Booty twerking, she knows she need. Back to harder, smoke baller. Bitches off potential. In and out of town, I keep it fishing. Ride around the city, started in the winter. Talking about that money, always sentimental. Always on the go to work out my potential. Live until the part I know that I was missing. Bitches off potential. In and out of town, I keep potential. Yeah. Yeah, bitch, I'm so potential. What happened? Listen, I'm extremely potential. How about you? Extremely potential. weather, sleet, rain. Look, wait, whether it's rain, sleet, snow, storm, hurricane. I ain't gonna say the rest. The point is, I'm extremely potential here. So shout out to potential. Listen, if you have been through or are going through any form of domestic violence, whether it be verbal, sexual, physical, as in punches and slaps, any form of the emotional of domestic violence, guys, I want you to look up domestic because I'm definitely going to give you the definition of domestic via the dictionary, right? And of it due to my personal experience. But guys, excuse me, guys, domestic is not just between, I want to say, romantic partners, man, woman, man. It's not just that. Domestic can be from a sister to a brother to a sister to some family members. It can be, so we're going to get into that a little bit later. Give it up for B, Lisa, and Potential. Guys, make sure you go follow her at it's B.Elise. Let her know from the heart of the poet sent you. All the artists that we play, they all have YouTube channels. Guys, yes, make sure you subscribe to From the Heart of the Poets YouTube channel. But guys, make sure you also go subscribe, support the artists and their endeavors. You know what I mean? A lot of them are working hard. Just because they haven't hit mainstream yet, or probably never will due to certain stats and what they prefer or don't prefer, doesn't mean they're not as important. You understand what I'm saying? And not as valuable and not as dope. So make sure you guys go and follow them. Give it up for this next female independent artist by the name of Pretty Onyx. This song is titled Let Me Love
I know that she ain't treating you right. It's time for you to be by my side. Let me show you what a real woman do. Let's get together and make this power move. Ooh, yeah. Let me love you, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love you, let me love you, love you. Let me love you, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love you, let me love you, let me love you. And now it's time for us to be each other's woman on me. Baby, please won't you let me take you on this journey? I will never let you down. I will always be around. Right on top of you, my king, my baby, yeah. Let me love you, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love you, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love you, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love you, let me love you, let me love you. And now it's time for us to be each other's one and only. Baby, please won't you let me take you on this journey? I will never let you down. I will always be around. Right at top of you, my king, my baby, yeah. Let me love you, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love you, let me love you, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love you, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love you, let me love you, let me love you.
Period. Now let me love you, let me love you, let me love you. Be honest and talk. Let me love ya, because the main symbol of what represents this poet's heart, CASHEMA, means to you guys. Okay? the world, the community. You know what I mean? So shout out to Pretty Onyx. You can go follow her on Instagram at Pretty Onyx, Pretty with an I, Pretty Onyx Gang, really. Now that piece caused me to think about this poetry piece that I have, and I don't recall it all, right? Because I am not only a spoken word artist, but I also am event curator, monthly. I curate events, and I'm here, and I also work a day job, right? So I don't always get to rehearse and remember my poems, but they're powerful. So let me cause me to think about this. My name is CASHEMA Amish. See, they said in life I wasn't gonna be shit. But now I'm the token. Yeah, I got the keys. I'm the one who prays you through when life gets tough and it gets difficult, overwhelming, and it brings you down to your knees. See, he is my king. He is my one. Yes, he's my father. And yes, he's my son. I can talk to him because he understands everything I go through and everything I am. He's my support system. I can't live without him. The best thing since sliced bread is his kiss, his hug, his lips, his touch. And I just want the whole world to know about my black brother. I love you. I would never try to hurt you. I want you to know that I'm here for you for whatever true. See, King, I'm not just your queen, I'm your lioness. This love I carry for you, my king, is so big that it's wireless. It reaches you wherever you go. See, I crown you king because you're created in the image of the one I love most. Give it up for B Fortune in her song, The Sheets.
Turn the beat up, take your clothes off, close the door now, pass the road up. I got good to be. It's been so long, and how's your boy showing? How your kids know that you had on? You had plenty. Oh, you I'll pop that shit and turn the dial up. This how we were on some good things. Where's your notebook? I got my pen. Need some paper. Let me beg. Just a few sheets. I remember when you told me that you never made a difference like me. Said I'm hopping out to you like HD. Said I look like the girl in your dreams. Make you wanna think I is the last thing. Still keep friends in life. Even wrong when we look. Some nights can't get some when we go. We can write when you hear about every day and night. And it feels so good when you do it when you know you should. Charging the point, feeling anointed, yeah. And finally try the bass and the drums so tight. We can do this, it's been so long, and now the boy, it's on, get your hat on, you have to see. Boy, I'll let me and target right now. This how we work. Also good things. Where's your notebook? I got my own. And I need some paper. Let me baby. Just a few sheets. Some sheets. She oh, you know you can be high.
Come on now. That last part. I'll tell you that last part, do it for me, y'all. How you gonna say, boy, Huh? Like what? Like what? Like what? You know what I'm talking about? I like that. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but I want to get me a man to get me high. Listen, I'm gonna say this again. I don't know about y'all, but I sure want to get me a man that's gonna get me high. Okay? And about it's not the high where, I need you to roll me up and no, it's definitely not. We're talking about that high, you know, that high that is just a natural high. It's a high of chemistry, the natural chemistry that we have. That type of high. That's the high I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? That is definitely the high that I'm talking about. That's all I'm saying. So with that being said, we are going to continue this morning's independent artist music rotation. The next independent artist we're going to play, you can go follow her at b.fortune on Instagram, the last artist. The artist we're getting ready to play is Genuine Beauty. They're Genuine Beauty on Instagram and Cinnamon Shenanigans on Instagram. Yeah.
Fuck out niggas. You can't get with the red eye. Ain't my CD niggas. Till my motherfucker shit. Yeah. Don't let me my motherfucker shit right. I run your own city. I always got a motherfucker shit like that. Fuck out niggas. Get with the red eye. Ain't my CD niggas. Till my motherfucker shit. Yeah. Don't let me my motherfucker shit right. I run your own city. I always got a motherfucker shit like that. Bullshit on this. Got gang with this shit. There's no pressure, little homie, but if don't give it with full clip. Got pussy ass niggas, just might as well just run that line. 42 niggas, don't best believe motherfucker don't shit that. With that extend fuck on you, homie. We don't fuck dog. That's what we don't forget. Sensitive the miss and run up, ask you up, we a snatch. Son of little homie, best believe you don't get fucking walk down. You get MJ, the best of the clown shop. My person, we can't get fucked with all the shit. Goddamn, it ain't the shit. They strong on some real shit. Niggas ain't killing shit. If you really better like shit, big tank, I'm better with that full foot. Cause I had to get on my side of shit. Cause I'm pretty black like a chopper shit. You better go me as gangster. I'm called Jeff for mine, so best believe I was killing shit. Fuck that nigga niggas. You get hit with a red eye. Anybody see these niggas? My motherfucker shit. Yeah, cause I need my motherfucker shit. I don't say I always got the motherfucker shit. Fuck that nigga niggas. You get hit with a red eye. Anybody see these niggas? My motherfucker shit. I bring your own city. I always got a motherfucker shit. Like we shenanigans for me and Chris, my ass is stuck in my mouth. All my hands go. I ain't got no dick. I ain't never afraid to talk about shit that's funny until I never quit. Fuck you, I'm not losing my mind. Don't dim my light, respect my crime. Glasses, see, I ain't fucking blind. Can't you see how all this shit is inside? You can get up and then you sliver. Teach us some new shit and you trigger. Mom's very still well, so the Lord teach you a lot of extended love. Fuck that nigga niggas. You can't hit with a red eye. Ain't my CD niggas. Till my motherfucker shit. Yeah. Gonna let me my motherfucker shit right. I bring your own city. I always got a motherfucker shit. Fuck that nigga niggas. You get hit with a red eye. Ain't my CD niggas. Till my motherfucker shit. Yeah. Gonna let me my motherfucker shit right. I bring your own city. I always got a motherfucker shit.
Yeah. Hey, listen, let me say something. When I hear music like that, I'll be ready to be look. I'll be ready to be a rapper, you heard? I think I got it in me. What y'all think? Go on. Listen, I want you guys to do me a favor, right? Go to our YouTube channel, comment, and let us know what is your view, experience, or understanding, maybe even opinion. We're not afraid of opinions, you know what I mean? The worst that can happen and the best that can happen is that we agree to disagree. But leave us a comment and let us know how you feel about, me, the creative producer and host here for CASHEMA. How do you feel about me spitting some bars and becoming a little rapper here. Because I think I got it in me, you know what I'm saying? Feel me? But give it up to Genuine Beauty and Cinnamon Shenanigans. You can go follow them on Instagram at the real Genuine Beauty and Cinnamon Shenanigans. We are going to keep the ball rolling on. Well, the next artist we are going to play, the next artist we're going to play is Ebony J, all right? Ebony J, and this song is titled Hood and Classy. Give it up.
He said he like the hood and classy. I'ma give it to him. I'm in the city. He said I'm hood and I'm classy. He like me 'cause I'm nasty. For him I get ratchet. I fuck him in the backseat. He was all up on it. I had him whipping and on it. Then we fuck to the moment. When I'm done, take his money. Yeah, he like me on top. I like my drinks real nice on my rocks. Right hand to the pussy pop. Yeah, you know what pop like I fly. Can't hang with those spots. Not a vibe that I be pushing a lot. Can't hang with those spots. Not a vibe that I be pushing a lot. He said I'm his queen. He be like it in everything. He ate me out of the sun. Outside because it is spring. Sunflower in heaven frames. Watermelon in summer breeze. He's supposed to the fact that I say his name and everything. Yeah, he like it from the back. I got the money, yeah, I got the stack. He hit me up and I'm calling him back. He hit me up like baby, we like his back. He don't love in his time. I like him because he don't know. Love him because he is fine. Yeah, I saw him out on the phone. He looks so good. I like him with a little bit of good. Then you know we fucking the woods. Fresh air was do something. He looks so good. I like him with a little bit of good. He said I'm hood and I'm classy. He like me 'cause I'm nasty. For him I get ratchet. I fuck him in the backseat. He was all up on it. I had him whipping in it.
Oh yeah.
Then we fuck to the moment. When I'm done taking.
Good morning.
He like me on top. I like my drinks real nice on my right hand under the pussy pop. Yeah, you know the pop like I rock. I can't hang with those spots. Not a vibe that I be pushing a lot. Can't hang with those spots. Not a vibe that I be pushing a lot. Just fucking me and let me join. Woo! Good and plus.
Woo! He said I'm hood and I'm classy because I'm nasty. For him, I get ratchet. I fucked him in a backseat. We was all up on it. Then we fucked to the morning. When you done, I said good morning. Wait, hold on. This is my favorite part. When I'm done, say good morning. Like, hi. That's the hoodiest, classiest thing. For real. When I'm done letting you tap this good thing here, I'm gonna need you to say good morning. So speaking of saying good morning, I'm gonna need you guys to go follow my girl Ebony J at Ebony J. Hey, and go subscribe to her YouTube channel. We're gonna play another B&B song. This song is titled "Booming." Now y'all know y'all like it when I beat booming. All right. Yeah. Oh.
When the bass stay booming, go up, bring it all around too. When it's club stay beat up, we don't worry about what you beat up. Let that shit down the way. Nowadays, I'm rolling up our way. And everybody our way. Getting money nowadays. When the bass stay booming, go up, bring it all around too. When it's club stay beat up, we don't worry about what you beat up. Let that shit down the way. Nowadays, I'm rolling up our way. And everybody our way. Getting money nowadays. And I got money in my hand, look. Baby, I can just fly with these. Baby, I can just fly with these. And I'm about it. Smoking all over town and beat. You were hated just trying to speak. Better word for time and beat. But I can't be. And beat. Shine bright, I can't see. Dallas nights, we're never the week. See what's so big is a fleet. I can speak, man, we talk crazy, and we to the left and we getting money, every day. I was always just a run away, always just a run away. Now I'm living myself. And the best thing to do, go up, bring it all around you. It's cause they come on. We don't worry about the hate you. Hey, you know gotta give me and robbing me no step. Now I'm on the way for beach. $1,000 a night, sheep. You ain't help me on these. I'm only the key. You whatever you do, proceed. I keep moving, you keep that. I think you keep that. Keep that. Maybe some of y'all keep that. Keep that. And the best gon' keep up. I don't need stress. Keep up. Love so turn like a speed. My nigga get weed up. Getting money all day. I was always just a run away. Always just a run away. Now I'm here, baby, not stay. And the best they do, go up, bring it all around you. It's cause they need it. You don't worry about it, you need it. Like I said, I'm ready, now it is, I'm calling our way. You get me fighting our way. Money, our day. And the best they do, go up, bring it all around you. It's cause they need it. You don't worry about it, you need it.
Boomin'! Yeah! Give it up for Boomin'. You can go follow that independent artist on Instagram at It's B. Elise. You know what I talk about here? It's B. Elise. We're going to continue this independent artist and music rotation. As you know, we are a radio talk show, not just a talk show up in here. But I don't know about you guys, but I'm about ready to see me on the turntables that's behind me. But I can mix, right? The DJ mixing part, I got that part. You know, y'all already know I got the voice. What? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Somebody gonna call Funk Master Flex and tell them I need about a week's training. You know what I'm talking about? But anyway, the thing is, DJing is so much more than just the fun part that we see or hear when we see it at parties or see it on TV or hear it on radio stations such as internet radio like this one, Hot 97. That is way beyond that fun piece, guys. It's real work behind that. So you have to really have knowledge of the equipment. You want to be able to know how to use different programs, you know, so it's a lot more than just the surface. So shout out to my upcoming DJ session that we get ready to have, you know what I'm talking about. So again, give it up for It's B.Elise. Go follow her at It's B.Elise. We're going to play another female independent artist, and then we're going to switch over and play some of our men and get into this conversation before we leave. Because as you know, the topic is domestic violence awareness and prevention, and I'm going to share my story. So we're going to play Butter, and we're going to play her song, I'm on. Yeah. So freestyle, baby. Get into it, Brooklyn. Hey! What? Yeah. What? Yeah. What? It's one of my favorite female artists, y'all. Yeah. Official_button. I got it. Go follow her on Instagram, y'all. This that Brooklyn shit. You know, Brownsville, baby. Give it up for her. Yeah. Even though I represent the star. Yeah. Brooklyn, baby. Hit him,
Tomorrow never promise shit when you talk about it. That's the only thing I feel. I'm gradually pulling us back just like a bomb.
She said, I gotta do it for the girls who never got a chance. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? I know I said I was gonna play another independent recording artist, right? But we gonna run that song back. I wanna know if y'all really, really, really heard what she said. First of all, shout out to myself, Funk Flex, and every single other radio show DJ, whether it be mainstream FM, AM radio, or internet radio, such as New Time Radio Station and DTF Radio. Shout out to us. You know why? Those of us who really, really enjoy the artist music that we play. I definitely have a slew of mainstream artist music that I love, right? And really like and resonate with. However, I'm here to bridge the gap between the mainstream world and the independent artist world. I truly believe that. As you guys see me here, one day you'll see me there. I promise. I just know it. I just know it, right? So with that being said, that's why you hear us a lot of times, most of the times, playing independent artist music. But we're gonna spin that record back because before we go into more independent artist music, that record just put me in the mind space to go right into my last piece of poetry for this morning's show and go into my story, right? Go into my survival story, my testimony, you know what I mean, my strength and power. So I really do want to run that back, but you can go follow her at official_butter. And I want you guys to really listen to why she says she does this. And then I'm going to go into my story. And we're going to talk about domestic violence and prevention.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I gotta do it for the hood, man. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I gotta do it for the hood, man. You know, like the living in the hood,
Yeah.
I gotta do it for the hood, man. Big goals and big dreams, I wanna just a girl that can spend 150 take heed and listen. And say shit, what we promise here. Niggas really spending, not just like see another year. Some of you white lucky, early devil, was in the year. Never fucking day, cause tomorrow never promise. Shit, we can talk about it. That's the only thing I feel eventually. Pulling us back just like a bomb. Yeah, the devil works around us, but God got to come. He never give us something that he knew he said never fail. Yeah, I'm trying to get up out the hood, man. You know it's more than like the living in the hood, man. All the struggle was killing in the hood, man. I gotta do it for the hood, man. I gotta do it for my fam, you don't understand. I gotta do it for them girls who have a chance. I gotta do it for me and stuff for me. I gotta do it for the world, a hood got a chance. Yeah, I'm getting money over everything. Made a deal with Illuminati, don't keep the fame. All I want is a better life, a better frame. All the boys here, it's time to get on this money. Yeah, I sell my money on my screen. And I'm sending them to punch niggas. Don't even know if you see niggas all in the bunch, niggas. Bunch of raw fuck boys, and I know it's real. The niggas play me close, so you know it's real. I know, I gotta do it for the hood, man.
What?
You know it's more like the living in the hood, man. I gotta do it for the hood, man. Big goals and big dreams. I wanna just do it for 16 for the hood.
Oh, yeah, I'm on, yeah, I'm on, yes. So as I forestated, that just sent me right into today's topic. Because guess what? Although all that stuff happened to me, all that stuff was happening to me, guys. And some of it happened with my permission, but through all of that, I was able to say the very same thing that my sis, independent recording artist Butternir said. And you know what that is? I'm on, I'm on, what? I'm on. Then brought it back saying, ooh yeah, I'm on. Now for those of you who are on our IG Lives who may be just joining, right? As you know, from the Heart of Poet IG Live is just up, service working. I'm on. I'm on. Oh, and for those of you who's feeling the glow on the skin right now, I woke up like this because I'm on. Hey, shout out to Butternir, for real. Make sure you guys go follow sis at official_butter. Butter as in BUTTAH. Give it up for Brooklyn Skate Society. Listen, I came out and skated with them about 2 times and they just adopted me. Shout out to them for giving me a chance. You heard in her song, and that was a freestyle, guys. I heard in that freestyle we just played, she said, I gotta do it for the females in the hood who didn't have a chance. Then she turned around and said, I gotta do it for me because it's a self-demand. I'm gonna need y'all to go follow her at official_butter. Come on now. But if you want to hear the song, you know what I'm talking about, and see what I'm talking about, we spent that back twice. Make sure you go check out our YouTube live, and don't be judging our lighting, okay? I am a creator and a writer, an entrepreneur, a radio podcast host, and all this other stuff, but you know what I'm not? I don't do anything much with technology. For the past 2 years, having this baby called radio podcast has taught me things about technology. So yeah, I'm gonna hit right into that piece I was talking about earlier. Yeah, that pain, it's untitled. It hit me like a whirlwind. It hit me so hard, I forgot that I was still awake. So by standards, I've been. The way, yeah, that pain, it hit me like a whirlwind. The way he used to touch my body, how he whispered softly in my ear, gently stroke my hair, and tell me how he wants to come inside me. Then the next day, he walked right by me. He was with the other chick. Never did I know I was only his side piece. Shout out to that small piece right there. That's a little piece of my heart. As you know, this morning's topic is domestic violence, awareness, and prevention. So I'm going to just go right on into it. And I'm going to shoot us out real quick with this, right? I come from a place where, you know, all of you 80s babies already know. You already know. No matter how much our families, parents' families worked hard and did their best to do, you know, there was a pandemic called crack that swept through the neighborhoods that a lot of us were in as babies, children, or even being conceived in. And it took away a lot of our family members and parents' ability to care for us the way that I know from my heart they would have, right? Had the government and everybody else who participated in this, and I won't say the government, I would say the people who we were supposed to be able to trust, right? Because I wasn't there. But the government part is hearsay, but people who we were supposed to be able to trust, you know, to look over the neighborhoods and spearhead things to create a more safe and healthy environment for all, you know, talk about diversity. We couldn't. So the point is, this pandemic called crack swept through neighborhoods, took a lot of our family members, our parents, and a lot of us grew up being brought up and weren't raised. Then on July 20th, 1986, the world wasn't ready for this force to be reckoned with, and her name happens to be me, CASHEMA Amish, CASHEMA anointed, CASHEMA anointed, CASHEMA modest, CASHEMA enthusiastic, CASHEMA self-confident, CASHEMA hardworking. Amish is half of my name backwards, and Shema backwards. So having said that, I didn't know how to love myself. that crack pandemic, epidemic, whichever word is proper, that whole thing had an effect on me, right? As it did a lot of you guys. And the one cared for me, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. So I'm not here to highlight how hard, affected how they were able to be there for me because they were around, right? But I'm here to shed light on the fact that my parents are overcomers of that entire pandemic. And then there's me, and I today am an overcomer of domestic violence in every single form it has, y'all, down to being held at gunpoint over a man's feelings. Do you hear me? Right? So I did not know how to love myself. I took everything that went wrong in life from a child, since I could remember being molested at a young age, and things like that really do play on your mind as a kid. So what happened is, in turn, I internalized it and felt it was my fault. I thought maybe I did something wrong, or maybe it was what I wore, or I just couldn't understand as a child. So I grew up with a broken consciousness. I listen. Shout out to those of you who know who I'm talking about when I mention his name, but I'm sorry and not sorry. Shout out to R.C. Blakes, right? Because he teaches us a lot about this queenology and broken consciousness, and it resonates so much with me, and I get a lot of healing, right, and understanding. And I was doing a lot of I was living off of a broken consciousness, and from having been violated at a young age for so long, babysitters' children and family members themselves, and you know I've even had an encounter at 18 where I was raped by a boyfriend of mine. I mean, for crying out loud, when you can't say I don't want to have sex. I mean, come on. Come on, we're not toys as human beings, men or women. We are people. We are divine human, divine masculine, divine feminine. So we're supposed to treat each other from an angle of divinity, more from that angle, although we're human, but it's a learning experience for us all, right? So with that being said, my broken consciousness led me into people, places, and things that were just, I mean, I would be lying if I say I didn't have fun with some of that dangerous stuff and out there, dangerous as in the places I went, being around people who did things that I wouldn't dare to do, being around people who was comfortable living a lifestyle and having a mindset that I just knew was wrong and completely dangerous. You know what I mean? What? Broken consciousness. So I entertained a lot of things that weren't right for me. And if I could be honest with you, at a certain point of my life, I knew when these things weren't right for me, but because I had such a broken consciousness, there was a lack of love for self. There was lack of self-confidence, lack of a healthy self-esteem. Because it's funny how everybody running around about their self-esteem is high, but you can barely see their face. I came to you guys this morning barefaced on purpose. What I do have on this morning is some purple lipstick to go on my purple outfit, right? But some of my videos, you can see my actual lips, okay? But I came to you this morning bare because this is me just saying, receive me as myself, right? That's the representation of my own natural this morning. I'm just saying, receive me as myself. I come from hiding behind the wigs that I wore. Make no mistake, I love all of my creative hairstyles that I put in my hair. But today I wear those hairstyles for a different reason. I wear them because I want to wear it because this is the style I want to wear today. This is the look I want to have today. I don't wear my eyebrows anymore because I feel like I have to. Well, her eyebrows are high and they pay her attention, so let me put some on so that mine can be high. I don't wear it anymore for image. What I do for me now is solely, wholeheartedly based on the love I have for myself. So I don't have anything. I don't want you guys to get it twisted. As I say, I came to it natural as a representation of just the way that I learned to receive and love myself, very natural. I don't want you to think that I'm trying to be funny about people who do wear makeup, that however much they wear, or lace fronts. That's not it. Because I promise you guys are going to see me in the lace front as soon as I overcome the fear. My edge is coming out. Okay. Yeah, I'm one of those people. I'm African, okay? I got edges all here, about on the forehead, connected to the eyebrow. I got time for this. Lightly connected. Okay, my eyebrows are waxed, so y'all might not see that. But anywho, you know what I mean? So the whole thing is this. So from having a broken consciousness, like I said, there was lack of love for self, lack of self-love, lack of self-esteem, lack of self-confidence. So yeah, it took some real pain, guys. You know, it took near death for me, guys. What up, Newport? It took near death for me to be like, wait a minute. Because I definitely attempted suicide at about 12, you know, from sexual abuse. I figured, let me get away from this. I run away from home. Okay. So I definitely ran away from home. So upon running away from home, this is when I began to meet a different level of abuse. It came from me being molested and things like that to now me being physically beat. You know, I was still a virgin at the time, and I don't know, somehow I was attracted to an older man. You know, naturally, a lot of times when we don't, when we grow up with a broken consciousness, for whatever reason, we definitely are attracted to things that are not for us. Of course, I thought it was for me, so I was attracted to an older man. I was about 12, he was about 17. Bless his soul, Lord have mercy, right? So in any event, he would out of nowhere, everything was fine, and then out of nowhere, he just started hitting me. It hit me. So he put fear in me. You know, he put fear in me. I already was a bit timid due to what I had been through prior to that, 12, right? So he put a bit of fear in me. So here I go, this bold, strong young lady. I don't know that I'm that person yet, though. I don't know any of this yet, right? Here I go. My little self, afraid, don't know how to love herself, don't have confidence. So you can't love yourself without having an understanding of who you are. And you can't have an understanding of who you are without confidence. It's impossible, right? So here I go, out here in the world, don't know what I'm doing, but I'm out here and I'm trying to learn how to live, right? Teach a 12-year-old how to live life on life terms. How's that working, right? So I really want to thank my creator for a second, because I had to be being watched over. So with that being said, I went from the sexual abuse to the physical abuse now. From this physical punching, slapping abuse, I got away from him, right? Um, I began to turn to marijuana. I turned to marijuana. It gives me a sense of peace at the time. Honestly, it did. It gave me a sense of peace, because anything outside of trying to understand why I was being, you know, going through what I was going through so young, felt good enough for me at the time. So then there was weed. So after this, I attract a whole new level of toxicity. Okay? Now, a whole new level of toxicity. I'm not saying that everyone who smokes weed is toxic. I'm not saying that at all. But this is what my story is. And I get to a different level of toxicity, meet these different people. I'm not only now being sexually abused, I'm now being sexually abused, physically abused, and verbally abused. No, I did not just let it happen, right? I am not here to throw anybody under the bus or slander anyone. It is my story. So I will not mention any names and exact time frames for the sake of people who do know, okay, who would watch or listen to this here morning show. So I'm now being sexually abused, because when I would want to have sex, I'm being pretty much forced, right? Manipulated to. I am being physically abused, because if I don't do something, all of a sudden I'm running into hits, right? So because there was that fear there, we already had a broken consciousness, right? So then there became the fear. So due to that fear and the broken consciousness, I did whatever he asked me to do, not wanting to, right? So we have that. Now here's me at 18, held at gunpoint by this gentleman, right? Gunpoint. And I still did not process correctly. I was still internalizing everything that happened to me. Yeah. So in internalizing that, What did I say, y'all? What's the broken record for people who are going through abuse? This is my fault. This is my fault. This is my fault. Somebody, we go right at peace. This is my fault. This is my fault. That's what that was. It's like I wore it as if this is my fault. You know? So, moving along, and all these years I'm thinking I got over it. I'm thinking because I was no longer being sexually abused at 3 or 2 or 5 or 6, whatever the ages were, I got over that. I was no longer being physical abused in this situation, I got over that. Meanwhile, there was no real therapy or, me going to a spiritual advisor or leader, because I have always been a member of someone's church. I have always been affiliated with someone's church. Too ashamed to say this is what's happening to me, right? Because I'm too busy thinking, oh, this is my fault. If you just would have never said that, if you just would have never did that, if you'd have just did what they said, but that's not what I wanted to do, you know what I mean? So coming out of that, I realized my last abusive relationship, believe it or not, guys, was 6 years ago. 5 years ago and change to be exact. And believe it or not, this was with a woman, And believe it or not, it was, I just shared with you guys sexual abuse, emotional abuse, being told how I'm not pretty, I'm not good enough, my hair is not good enough, my complexion, my weight, it was like nothing was good enough, right, for those people that I attract. Because today in my world, I have a circle of people who are more than just good enough. We're great enough for each other. So thank God for that, right? So what happens is I go through all of these phases of abuse. And the last one being 5 years ago, never in a million seconds, milliliters of a second, that I would think it would turn out to be a female that I would have my last abusive situation with. How does she know it was her last? The way that I have learned to love me, the way that I have learned to accept and appreciate me, the way I have learned to fight for me and forgive me, I will never attract that type of energy. Are you kidding me? That's how I know it's my last horrible rodeo of an abusive relationship. You understand me? Because the queen, the empress, the child, and the woman in me, the king in me, the princess in me, is not entertaining that foolery. You hear me? So I've come to a place where solitude and by myself are. Do it always feel good? No. I am a Cancer at heart. I like to look at the weather. I want to cuddle and all this other stuff. But let me tell you something. That time will definitely come. I have come to a place, ladies and gentlemen, where my love for me has come first in a way where I'm not full of myself. I'm just protective of myself. I'm protective of this peace that I'm obtaining. I'm gaining it. I want to maintain that because I also, on the flip side of all of this, I deal with some serious anger triggers. It's serious. It is serious, and it could definitely sabotage me. So, with all of that being said, I thank my creator, who I call my God, right? That's where I have a spoken word piece. I met the right man. Yeah, I believe that. Because having gone through all of those phases of sexual, mental, and emotional abuse, being held on gunpoint, down to triggering a certain pain in a woman where she even tried to kill me and take my life, in her anger, I only blame them for what they did. I am completely accountable for having been in a place where even when love for myself was presented as possible, I didn't believe it for a long time. So I went through some things to show me the dangers of not loving myself or learning how to. So here I am today, right? And I am so grateful. Do I do everything right and perfect? Absolutely not. I am still practicing patience. Because the trauma that I've endured throughout all that I went through, the pain that I've overcome, I am now practicing not being attached to that trauma and pain. You understand? You know how you could have knowledge that you done really overcame something, because now I can say that because there has been work. There has been accountability on my end. You know what I'm talking about? There has been forgiveness of my abusers and myself on my end. So I like to say, right, for those of you, let's get preventative real quick. Start with you. For real. Start with you. The best way to prevent being in any type of abusive relationship is to develop a healthy self-esteem by having a healthy love for yourself. Whatever your God is, your faith is, whoever you consider the power that be that helps you to be the best version of yourself. That relationship and your relationship with yourself is so important. It is detrimental. It can kill you if you don't, uh, you know, focus on and develop a real foundation there. Because it almost killed me. You hear me? I said gunpoint, choked out. I mean, for real. All right? And I don't feel sorry for myself because I'm a survivor. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to work harder. I'm a survivor. I'm gonna make it. I'm a survivor. Keep on surviving. You heard? That's why. So, with that being said, the best way, I'm telling you guys, it might sound corny and cliche or, boring, but I'm telling you, the best way to prevent that is to develop a healthy self-esteem by having have a love for yourself that is, it leads to a healthy, not where we're full of ourselves and, the whole world is all about us. No, your world, your intimate space is all about you. What you do for you, yes, but at the end of the day, we are a community, right? We all want to be effective from one person to another, from one brand and one business to another. So it really starts and ends with you guys, as much as it's their fault what they did, it is definitely, I am definitely accountable. Okay, when you know that you don't love yourself, when you know that your love for yourself is not intact and you just continue to do the same thing, you're held accountable for that. Because once you get knowledge, once you know, you can't go to not knowing. So you are held all the way accountable for that. You really are held accountable for that. Creator is not going to be overlooked, what you're not doing for you to help you be a better version of you. And just point at what he did slap you and she did, she did kick you. No. Ladies and gentlemen, it starts and it ends with us. Okay? So yes, we have to first be good enough for us, or else, take me for my word, you could be called, chosen, anointed, full of gifts and talents. But let me tell you something. Don't rock with you. Don't rock with you real good long enough. You will attract some of that type of behavior. Yes, you will. No, you don't deserve it, but you will. You have to have a healthy self-esteem and a decent, healthy relationship with yourself and your creator. That which you have faith in. All right? That I'm telling you, that is the best, most preventative way. Take it from a woman who has been through this for up until 5 years ago, and I sit before you today to tell you, I am the book. You hear me? You can ask me anything. And yes, we have a domestic violence hotline, guys. The number down. Forgive me for not having it in front of me. Okay, that was definitely not intentional, but there is a domestic violence hotline. If you know somebody, you to somebody, call the hotline and get some help. It took me a long time because of fear. Okay, my fear in no one's gonna, I don't have any support to run. They're gonna find me, and make no mistake, you know, the longer you stay, the worse it gets. So yes, this person definitely had access for me. Yeah, but I'm out of that. When it's meant for you to get out of something, you're gonna get out when you really want to get out. Okay, I can't tell you how dangerous your situation is because I don't know. But when it's in the case that you are afraid to leave because of the access the person has to, you start with a order of protection and some sort of protective shelter. It sounds crazy, but I went through it. You start there, order of protection, and you're gonna have to leave home. Absolutely, for a little while. I had to do it. Okay, when we get ourselves in, you know, creative is dope. Universe is fire. They're definitely gonna work in all elements to help us get out. But you heard me say help us. I often say the same way I got into a situation is the same way I get out. That's why I don't believe in ghosting. I don't care how horrible I think somebody is and how much that man or female that got on my, I don't believe in ghosting. People are human as hell. Unless somebody ghost your ass and get you to life. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm the book, I'm the chapters, I'm the page. You can follow me at CASHEMA_beauty. You can follow my brand at From the Heart of a Poet. You'll find me both places. If you know anyone who's not afraid to share their story, all right? Make sure you DM us at From the Heart of a Poet or email us at fromtheheartofapoet@gmail.com. All right. So here are those are the main two things. Now tips um, to maintaining yourself after you've been through um, an abusive relationship of any form, whether it's physical, verbal, you know, physical, sexual, mental, you know, you have to pick yourself back up. You have to rebuild. You have to rebuild yourself. You know what I mean? You have to first of all forgive yourself. You have to. I mean, you'll live life and things will seem cool and you know everything will seem fine. But as soon as you realize it ain't fine, when something triggers you, when something triggers that part in you, and you begin to react instead of responding, you'll know that I need to go do some work, right? Yeah, it's like going in and caterpillar to come out as the butterfly that you already are, right? So you want to, number one, be honest with yourself, be extremely honest about the situation that happened, be accountable for your portion in it, even though it's never your fault that what another person does. Them putting their hands on you is not your fault, no matter how much you may have triggered a person. Unless you hit them first, because that's just different. Now, I'm going to punch the man in the face and get mad and he punched me back. Come on. Now, I do believe that, you know, as a man, you know, you are the stronger vessel, so you can, you know, walk away. But I believe as a woman, I have no business putting my hands on that man either. And I'm told, you hit me, I hit you back, right? So in any event, you know, you want to forgive yourself, okay? You want to be honest about the situation with yourself. You want to hold yourself accountable for attracting that type of energy. Seriously, whatever part you play. For me, it was attracting the energy. Not meaning to intentionally, but the point is what it is, right? And when we're being accountable, we let go of all justifications. Hashtag. All right. So after that, you want to forgive yourself, right? And then you want to do what it takes to rebuild trust. Oh, here we go. You have to rebuild your trust with yourself. I said you have to rebuild your trust with yourself. I said you have to rebuild your trust with yourself. And that right there is the catalyst to that self-love, that healthy high self-esteem, that healthy high, strong foundation of self-confidence. You know, the woman king. I can't wait to see her in that movie. Oh, Jesus. Okay? But for real, you know, yeah. So that's pretty much really the basis of it. Um, I want to take a moment of silence um, for those who have passed on due to domestic violence, men, women, children, or animals. Okay? I know some, listen to me. I know some people that are kids, look, that'll abuse you, your children, and your animal. Okay? So as silly as that may sound, I do want to take a moment of silence for them. And prior to taking that moment of silence, I want to give it up for Global Wealth, Black-owned business. This beautiful piece of art that is on my body in the form of clothing. Yes, Global Wealth. They definitely did this, all right? It is a family, Black-owned family business. Okay, I love the outfit, helping me to represent purple, right? Our color for the month, everything purple, okay? So guys, you can stop by Malcolm X between Hancock, no, and Halsey. Global Wealth is right in between those blocks right there. Malcolm X between Hancock and Halsey. And show some love, let them know from the heart of the poet sent you. You know what I'm talking about? I might get a good discount on that outfit I want next. But for real, show them some love, right? So yeah, um, yeah. I threw myself off a little bit. I got too excited about the outfit. I really love this outfit. Trying to like recall what I was saying prior to, but the whole point is again, we're gonna go back to the steps. You want to be honest with yourself about the situation. You want to hold yourself accountable for your part of the situation. Do not blame yourself for what the abuser did, but you want to hold yourself accountable. Forgive is a must, and then you begin to learn to trust yourself again. Because when you go through abuse, it's kind of sort of like a betrayal. It almost makes you feel like you betrayed your own self. You know what I mean? And then that's going to introduce you to this self-love and self-confidence and self-acceptance and, stuff like that that you need, self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? So I share with you this piece, you know. But again, I want to shout out my life today and the woman I have become and continuously going to be becoming. I am so grateful because there's a slew of young women who think that love is harsh attention, and it's not. You know, sometimes they think it's cute, believe it or not, you know, that the man is territorial. You got to look at behaviors, guys. No one owns anyone. We're not each other's property. I mean, when you're married, the two become one, but y'all still belong to a creator. Like, there's always an authority over all humanity, right? According to what I believe. So, I mean, we're not each other's property. We purchase property. Like, we're not purchasing each other. So, really pay attention to the traits. You have the manipulation. These are the traits, guys. Narcissism, gentleman, manipulation, okay? The control, the possessiveness. Look at all those character traits now, because a lot of us who like attention, we do want the attention from the person we're dating. You know, we want them to be on us. You know, we want them to want us. But don't love me to death. Hell no. Okay? Love me to life. Don't love me to death. Please don't love me to death. I believe y'all get my drift now. So, I was walking down the street lost. In a cold, cold, cold world, I was empty inside like a lonely little girl. I couldn't help but think, what am I to do? And because there was no guidance, I walked in the wrong woman's shoes. See, I ran into some ditches. I fell into some holes. I even went so far and gave to the darkness my soul. I was lost. I was confused. I was angry and insane. I was depressed. I was stressed. I knew nothing but pain. Now this is where it gets diverse. We all believe in different things, but then I met this man, and for me, that name is Jesus Christ. See, he really touched my heart when he said, I'll give you life. I didn't understand yet. I still said, okay. That's why I can shout with joy until this day. He paid the price for me when he died on Calvary. But then I got impatient and began to fight. I turned my back on him and went back to my dark nights. I couldn't even see. I couldn't even breathe. So with my back against the wall, I had to fall back down on my knees. So he took me by the hand and said, come back home to a real man. Because see, I was chasing after the word, running back to that dark, lost, and lonely little girl. Yeah, I make mistakes, but I thank him for his love, his mercy, and his grace. And this is where it gets diverse again, because this is my belief. That's why I can put a smile on my face and sing that song. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. So now when I look back at my past, I know my God has made me to laugh. Because see, I know it was for a reason. Just one long, dark, dark, dark season. See, I know I met the right man because my hands are in his hands. And I thank him for the process of the cleansing of my heart, because one day he and I, we would never be apart. See, I met the right man. Thank you guys. So we're going to close out with this morning's Poet's Highlight. Yes, just the nick of time. So we're going to close out with this morning's Poet Highlight moment. It's going to be read from a book titled Chambers of a Beating Heart. It's a poetry book by Roger Smith. You can guys go follow him at Wise78 on Instagram. Wise78, if I'm correct. And this poem that I'm going to read is Station of Emotions. You grip me with a heart-shaped hand and fingers caress my shell as if you loved me from my manufacturer's womb. Together, we whisper secrets of imagination and run wild, like young lovers rolling over clouded leaflets. In my wishes that I could grasp back, I bleed all of me at the request of your subtle squeeze. You think, then press, I release. Guys, I'll read the rest of that poem next week, Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us. I definitely hope that you got something out of my survival story. Guys, again, if you know someone who's not ashamed to tell their story or would like us to share their story, please DM us at From the Heart of a Poet or email us at fromtheheartofapoet@gmail.com. Please make sure you all have a very blessed day. And remember the steps, y'all. Remember the steps. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to be accountable for your portion in the situation. And then you have to learn to trust. You have to forgive yourself. And then In forgiving yourself, you'll learn to trust yourself again. Peace.